Will you go to my page and share it to Savage Strong?
Yep. Are you coming here?
Will you go to
I'm
my
coming.
page
Let me
and
share.
it? Hello, hello, hello. Sorry I'm going live so late. I promised y'all the story about the time I was at SeaWorld. It's been, I don't know how long it's been. That was probably back in 2000, and I want to say probably 2016. Yeah, so it kind of touched. I mean, it's about all these kidnappings and stuff going around with these kids, and it's crazy, you know, because back then Save Our Children wasn't as big as it is now, or Save the Children or whatever. Mom, do me a favor. Hey, Carol, tag Cassandra Perez on this. I met you at Renew Life Young Adults. Hey, how you doing? Nice to talk to you again. Tag everybody. Mom, tag Shay, tag Nicole, tag Amy, tag Cassandra Perez, Kelly. Anyways, so yeah, it's probably back in 2016. We took my son to SeaWorld. It was SeaWorld, right? It was SeaWorld. We took my son to SeaWorld, and we're having fun. We're in this line to get ice cream, and there's this young girl in front of us. She's probably like, I don't know, 15 years old, and she's wearing a thong bikini, which I was like, what the heck? Who would let their daughter out in public with a thong bikini? Well, then I look to the left. Hey, Amy. I look to the left and I see the type of person that she's with. And she's with this creepy, nasty looking man. You know, like you see that guy, slick back hair, right? Dad bod galore, gold chain. You know, he looked like a little creepy Italian. How you would describe or picture a pedophile? This is how this dude looked, right? So I see him and I'm like, what the heck? Why is he with her? You know, like this is weird to begin with because she's in a thong bikini. I'm already judging a book by its cover, which we're not supposed to do, but I was doing it big time. I was definitely looking at this dude and I was definitely thinking pedophile, definitely thinking creeper, and I couldn't stop watching him. You know, and I'm overhearing. And the dude tells the girl, he says, we get candy, we get ice cream because that will get the kids to come to us. So I look at Chelsea and I'm like, did you hear that? She's like, no, because she's paying attention to my son, and my Shelly, Chelsea's mom, they're worried about what's going on with Beck. I'm a people watcher, and that already struck me odd. You know, the combo already struck me odd, and so I'm sitting there and I'm just eavesdropping. I'm just listening because I wanted to make sure what I heard was right, and so I'm listening to him, and he's like, "Yeah, it's easier to get them to come to us when we have something to offer them, like candy, ice cream, whatever." You know, he's asking her what her favorite. The man's not in a bikini. The little girl he's with was in a bikini, a little thong bikini. It was weird, man. It was weird, and yeah. So I'm watching them, right, and they're talking, and so they ordered, they go on. I'm still kind of keeping an eye on them just because I want to see what they're about. You know, I'm just like, what the heck? That's a weird group of people. Well, we get our ice cream. I'm watching them. This guy is standing in the kids' pool, right? He has no kids that I've seen so far. He has no kids except for this teenager that he's with. But he's in the kids' pool, and he has his phone out. And he's taking pictures of kids. And I'm looking at Chelsea, and I look at Shelly, and I'm like, do you see this? And they're looking, they're like, wow. They're like, we need to alert somebody. And I was like, yeah, for sure. So we walk up, there's a hill in SeaWorld. The kids' pool's right here. We walk up the kids' pool, and I'm watching this dude. Yeah, it's weird, man. I'm watching this dude the whole time, just see what's going on. I'm looking at the parents. None of the parents, every single one of them are oblivious to what's going on. And let me put this out there. I went back down there to talk to the parents. Hardly any of them spoke English. You know what I mean? So anyways, we go up to the hill, and we're watching them. And I'm telling you, this girl, right, he would take pictures and point at the kids. The girl would get one of the kids, and they would run. She would run and see how far she can get out of the pool without anybody noticing that she's got the kids. She was doing this with several of them, like playing, making it look like she's just playing with the kids, taking them all the way out of the water. What they're trying to do is get them around the corner. Once they're around the corner, they're gone. Nobody would ever be able to see these kids. And so I tell Chelsea and Shelly, I'm like, y'all need to call security. I'm going down there. I'm going down there, and I'm gonna keep this from happening. Well, so I go down there, and I'm telling the parents, I'm like, do y'all not think this is weird that this dude is in this pool with these kids and this girl, and they're like, the parents looking at me like I was crazy because I was talking loud. I was like, look at this, I'm fresh out of prison, so didn't have no time for no child molesters, didn't have no time for no pedophiles. So I'm already bashing this dude. I'm already talking like, this dude, he has no kids in here. He's playing with y'all's kids. He's taking pictures of y'all's kids. Y'all don't see this? And they're looking at me, they're like, ¿Cómo? Oh, they're not speaking English. We're in San Antonio. There's hardly anybody over there that speaks English. So I'm watching them. Chelsea and Shelly are up on the hill. They're trying to get security over there. And they're trying to tell security what's happening, what's going on. I tell the man, I look at the man, I said, hey! I was like, I see what you're doing. And he looks at me, and he looks all startled. And he stops what he's doing. He gets out of the pool, and I see him. There's another kid that's with him, a younger kid. He also is in his teenager. I'm thinking, I'll get to that part. He comes up to him, and he's talking to him. He's like telling him that he's been spotted. You know what I mean? Because I've been loud enough. I've been made it known that I'm watching him. And so he's like, disappears. Well, the girl's like this. She goes one way, he goes the other way. And I'm like, okay, forget it. I now feel like I'm causing a scene. So I'm like, maybe I'm wrong. I was like, now I'm embarrassed. So I start back up the hill. As I'm going up the hill, I'm trying to see where they are. I lost them. They mixed in with the crowd. But I hear Chelsea scream at the top of her lungs, and there's the most terrifying scream I've ever heard her scream, and it was like somebody got got Beck. She screams, Chase! They got him! So I look. Sure enough, that girl and that man have a little boy by his wrist, and they're coming. They're out of the pool. They're coming. Oh, let me skip. This is how the guy was tricking them. He was telling them, you better stop splashing or I'm going to have to take you to the office. You're going to get in trouble if you keep splashing. I'm going to have to take you to the office. If you keep splashing us, you're in trouble. And we're going to take you to the office. So that's how he was getting these kids ready so they would. And so I guess the kid was splashing in the pool. Well, they get him and they're taking him to the, they have him. They have him by his wrist. They're not holding hands with him. They both have him by his wrist, and the kid's looking scared. And so I come down from the hill, and I come in with a headbutt. Bow! I headbutt that dude. And I'm so angry, and I'm so frustrated, and, I can't speak, And I tell him, I was like, oh, you know what you're doing, you fucking pedophile. I was like, you're caught. You're caught, buddy. Well, he thinks I'm a cop. So he starts and he grabs the kid by his head. He's like, "This is my son. This is my son. Aren't you my son?" And he's like, I see his hands. You know how their grip turns, their fingers turn white. He's shaking the kid's head. And the kid's looking lost. And I was like, no. I was like, no, he's not. And the little girl that he's with, she's like, you're crazy. And I was like, no. I was like, the cops are on their way. Well, when I said the cops are on their way, I gave myself up. He now knew I wasn't a cop. She scrams. He scrams. The family of the kids, they're over there because they see their kid all in the caught up with all this, and I can't find the dude. The securities are they're down there like, come with us. Let's go make a statement. Nobody can find them. They're looking all over the cameras to find the girl and the guy. There was a group of 4 of them. It was a lady in a wheelchair. She was a spotter. Another kid, and that little girl, and that man. I was up there getting interviewed by the police officers that finally showed up and the security, and he comes up the hill. He's got his hat on. His hat's tucked down. He's by himself. He's pulling this little trolley with him. And I said, that's him. That's him right there. That's him. And they're like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, that's him. They're like, sir, come talk with us. He had a collared shirt on, had the collar propped up, and he was trying to get out of there. And Chelsea and Shelly were like, yep, that's him. That's him. And he pulls out an ID. It's not him. They automatically knew that it was a fake ID. Like, they start going into all this. They want his phone. And I was like, he doesn't have his phone. I saw him give his phone. He gave a bundle of stuff to a kid. Well, they got that kid. They found pictures of kids all on this phone. It was crazy. And I spent that whole day so mad because there was nothing they could do. I stopped it. I stopped that kid from getting out of the pool. I stopped that kid from getting kidnapped. And me doing that. And the parents didn't know English and they didn't know what was going on. They were startled. The kid was startled. They couldn't even give a statement on what happened. They just wanted to go about and enjoy their day. They didn't even realize what was going on and what happened. So nothing happened. Nothing happened. The guy, me and Shelly and Chelsea and Beck, we go about our time because I'm mad. I'm sitting there. I'm about to go to jail because I'm about to beat this dude up. And the cops were like, "Can y'all just go? Can y'all just go about y'all's day? We got this handled." It wasn't until we were leaving the park, I walked up to the security guard that was there, and I asked her, I was like, "So what happened with that guy?" They're like, "Well, we had to let him go because..." And then as she was about to tell me, another security guard chimed in, and he said, No. We didn't let him go. We got him. We didn't get the other 3. But there's pictures of him in other SeaWorld, Schlitterbahn, Six Flags. They of abducting kids, and they got him. You know what I mean? And the security guard was telling me that they let him go, but as he was about to leave the park, the police, they arrested him. And because they couldn't make no arrests inside the park, but they did arrest the guy, but they couldn't get the other 3, the old lady in the wheelchair, and they showed me pictures of them. They're like, "Did you see these people?" And I was like, in hindsight, thinking back, I did see the lady in the wheelchair. She was right there. I walked right past her when I was coming down the hill, around in the corner. She was sitting right there, and the little Mexican kid, and what the cops were telling me were that they think that those 2 kids were kidnapped at a young age. And that they were brought up in that life, and that's what they do is they go around and they help that man get kids. That's scary, man. It had me so sick and so upset. It's been 5 years now. No, not 5 years. It's been 4 years, and I still think about that day, and I think about that kid and how he thought he was just going to go get in trouble. He was scared. He thought he was getting in trouble for splashing. And this dude, and I just remember the grip that they had on his hands. And I was just like, oh my God, it just had me so sick. And I was so mad for the whole day because I was just thinking about my son, my daughter. If somebody was to get a hold of them, I'd be in prison because I would kill that person. I'd kill him. Oh. Anyways, I just wanted to tell that story before guys, we got to monitor our kids, man. We got to monitor them. We got to monitor their TikToks. My daughter has a TikTok, so I can't even say nothing. But she's very well monitored. Sarah stays on top of that. And kids are so precious, man. They don't deserve the stuff that happens. You know, it's just, I get emotional thinking about kids and them getting abducted. Wow, I can't talk. And it's just scary. It's just scary, guys. That's one of my biggest fears. Anyways, I just want to tell y'all. I just wanted to tell y'all that story. I was going to go into these scriptures and stuff like that. I'll probably save these scriptures for another day. Yeah, exactly right, Nana. We do have to be observant. We have to be watching, you know. And it was all over the news in San Antonio. I think it was 2016. It was all over the news. When they caught him, you know, they had his picture all over the news. We found out what his real name was. I'll leave that part out. I don't know what happened to the guy. I just know the dude didn't make it out of county or something like that. I don't know. Something like that. Something along them lines. You're right. You're right. We don't need to live in fear, but we must not live blind. Amen. The world's getting sicker all the time. Jesus, help us watch over our kids. Yes, Jesus, please keep all our kids safe. What's up, Cameron? You watching this? What you doing, brother? I can talk to you in a while. Still mad at you for trying to convince me that I had a sex change when I was in the hospital. Thanks for that. That was kind of, you know, a little rough patch while I was in the hospital. But yeah, man, I guess that's about all I got for tonight, guys. Tell that little story. I want to go back and reread these scriptures and make sure that they're coming from the man upstairs and not just from, you know, things that I just Googled. You know, I like to give y'all personal messages that I feel Jesus has put on me. And I'll probably just end it with that, guys. Thank y'all for watching. Share the lives, guys. Share the page. Get you some free t-shirts. Let me read this real quick. Let's read this real quick. Reading out of this. One God, one plan, one life. God is on our team. When I was helpless, He saved me. When I was young, the minute we neighborhood kids got home from school, we would drop the books and hit the pavement. The kids across the street had a dad with a strong addiction to football. As soon as he was home from work, would start yelling for him to come and play. Out of fairness, he'd always ask which team is losing. Then he would join that team, which often seemed to be mine. His appearance in the huddle changed the whole ballgame. He was confident, strong, and most of all, he had a plan. Would circle around him and he'd say, "Okay, boys, here's what we're going to do." The other side was groaning before we left the huddle. You see, we not only had a new plan, we had a new leader. He brought new life to our team. God does precisely the same for us. We didn't need a new play. We needed a new plan. We didn't need to trade positions. We needed a new player. That player is Jesus Christ, God's firstborn son. Here's one more thought. Did you ever feel that way? That you're on a losing team with a little hope or a comeback? That no matter how hard you try to move the ball, you end up losing yardage? There's one playbook designed specifically for your situation. One God, one plan, one life. Trust in Him with yours. Amen. And that right there, guys, is this. My mom's been preaching that all week. You got to be in the Word. You got to be. This is a roadmap, guys. This is what keeps you close to God. This is where He speaks to you. This is where you learn how to do life and how to do life good. You know what I mean? We're all going to have struggles. We're all going to have temptations. We're all going to fail here and there. We're all going to fall here and there. But this teaches us how to get up, and this teaches us how to deal with those failures. And with this book right here, you'll have less failures. I promise. I promise. Anyways, guys, I love every single one of y'all. Thank you, David Sapp. We'll go live again tomorrow, and then I'll get back into those scriptures that I had. Y'all say Savage Strong.